So, welcome. Welcome back to my channel. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I post videos on painting time lapses, talking about general topics that affect painters and kind of my journey as an artist. But today I wanted to do something just a little bit different and talk to beginning artists. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, about what it was like to first get started in art and first get started in painting. And I'm sure you've heard the expression, if I knew then what I know now, what would be different? So really this is just my top 5 tips for beginning artists to help you on your journey. So let's get started. All right, yes, I did make notes. So let's start with tip number 1. Be yourself, always, in everything you do. What does that mean? I'm sure you hear that all the time. It means find your own voice. What is it that draws you to art in the first place? Why are you even beginning on this journey? Why are you watching this video? What is it about art that draws you to it? Why do you want to create? Answer those questions, and that will be at the core of everything you do from this moment forward as an artist. What is it you want to share? What is it that makes you special, unique, different? When you think of art, what is it that you think of? What kind of images do you want to create? There are so many different types of art that we're talking about here. It could be oil painting, which I gravitate to. It could be other types of painting, watercolor, acrylics. It could be drawing, colored pencils, charcoal. It could be photography, graphic art. The list goes on and on. So find what it is that you are drawn to and ask yourself why. When you think of the art that you want to create and put out there, what does it look like? What themes keep coming up? What images do you respond to as an artist? And this will help you find out how to be yourself. Also realize your style will develop over time. It's not something beginning out that you're going to know exactly what your style is, what your voice is, what your perspective is. Be okay with kind of not knowing. Just have that in the back of your mind that you want to be true to who you are as an artist. I still get asked different times, oh, can you draw like this person? Can you paint this image? And maybe it's in line with how I see myself as an artist, or maybe it's not. So to some extent, stick in your lane, stay in your lane. Go with what feels right and natural to you when you're creating. Now, that doesn't mean don't step outside of that or challenge yourself or do something different. That's not what I'm talking about here. It's really just about being true to you, to your voice. Continuing on with our top 5 tips for beginning artists. Tip number 2, learn from others. Always be open to learning and growing as an artist. So when I started out, I was always drawn to painters, different painters from the past, modern times. And so I would get books and look at books like this one, 50 Artists You Should Know. And I would go through and I would look at what are the styles of art over time. What am I drawn to? Is it landscapes? Is it portraits? Is it realistic painting? Is it more of a painterly style? So I would do my research. I would do my homework. I would look for styles of art that I was drawn to. And then I would ask myself, how do those artists do what they do? I would watch videos on art, and I still do that today. I find so much information on YouTube, on the internet, on Instagram. There's a bunch of different artists that I really enjoy watching their videos, watching their paintings come to life. And it's not just in the style similar to mine. Most of the people that I follow that I like are very different artists than me. And I learned so much from watching them create, not just technique, but style, how they present themselves as an artist, how they get their work out there. So there's so much to learn and to share. And really that's also what drives me to put this together for you today, is giving back and sharing what I've learned along the way. So again, tip number 2, learn from others. Never stop learning. Never stop growing as an artist. Just when you think that you've got something figured out, change it up. Push yourself to do something different. Learn something. Do it better. One of the things that I like to do is that when I'm done with a painting, I take a step back from it and I really try to critique the painting myself and figure out, what is it that I like about that painting? What works? What actually conveyed the message that I wanted to send? What parts of it? Is it the color? Is it the perspective? Is it the composition? What is it that works? And on the flip side of that, I am critical and I ask myself, what's missing? What didn't work the way I wanted? What can I do next time? So I learned to set aside that painting and move on, but I try to learn from it. So learn from others, learn from yourself too. Tip number 2. Tip number 3, as a beginning artist, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. You don't need all the most expensive art supplies and every paint color that exists or the most expensive camera. Start with the basics. Start with what you have around you. If you want to draw and get better at drawing, all you need is a pencil and paper. If you want to take pictures and get into photography, chances are you already have some sort of smartphone that takes pretty decent pictures. So get out there, start experimenting with what you already have. If it's digital art, then there are a ton of free apps already out there, free computer programs, free apps that will allow you to explore digital arts and creating digital images. If it's painting, you might have to buy a few supplies, but start with the basics. Start with the beginner paints, whether it's acrylic or oil. Start with, fairly cheap paint brushes. Get just what you need to get started. The materials themselves are not going to transform you into an amazing artist. As your skills develop over time, you will probably need to invest in a little better quality supplies, but that's over time. Right now, you're still trying to figure out, what is your voice? What is it you want to create? What is the art going to look like? And so start simple. Tip number 3. Okay, we are on to tip number 4 for beginner artists. Practice, practice, practice. Super, super, super important tip. Probably a little self-explanatory here, but practice is so important. You have to put time and effort and energy into what it is that you want to get better at. Chances are you've got other responsibilities, whether it's school or work, home life, other things you want to do. So art is probably something you want to get into as a hobby to start out, but it's not going to get better without putting the work and the effort and the energy in. I can tell you that even with having family and work and other responsibilities, art is always on my mind. I'm watching videos about art, I'm drawing, I'm painting, I'm working on my YouTube channel. I'm doing what I can do every single day to get better at the craft that I want to pursue and to share the images and the perspective that I want to share. It's only going to get better over time. So you'll find your way, you'll find your path, you'll find your voice. As long as you're working on all of these steps kind of at the same time, it'll get better. Trust me, you'll get better. What you create on day one is not going to be the same type of art that you're creating a month later, 6 months later, 6 years later. But you have to work at it. You have to put the time and the effort and the energy into it. So again, tip number 4, practice, practice, practice. Moving on to tip number 5, and maybe the most important, although I do have a bonus tip if you stick around just a few more minutes. Tip number 5 is start now. Don't delay, don't hesitate, don't come up with excuses or reasons why you can't get started now. Start now. If you've been following all the other tips, including Start Simple, you know that there's no time better than right now. Right now is the best time to capitalize on this energy you have, this excitement you have about art. And so pick up the pencil, pick up the paper, get those few little paints you need, pick up your phone and start taking pictures. Whatever you do, whatever kind of art it is you want to create, whatever images it is that you're thinking of, that you're wanting to explore, start now. There's no time better. All right, so you thought we were done with tip 5, but in reality, I have a bonus tip for you. Tip number 6, have fun. In what you're doing, it's going to be very challenging. Art is very frustrating, very difficult, very challenging, and most of the time you want to quit and just stop doing it altogether. I'm speaking for myself, but I have a feeling that a lot of artists can relate to that. So the most important tip is number 6, have fun. Don't be so serious. Take what it is that you are doing, remember why it is you got into it in the first place, and just have fun. Relax. It's not the end of the world. What you're doing is probably going to be difficult and challenging and a struggle, and you will want to quit, but do it anyway. Enjoy the challenge, enjoy the struggle. I did a whole video recently. It's just a short painting time-lapse video, but in that video I talk about overcoming fear. I'll put a little link somewhere so that you can watch that if you'd like. But fear is one of those things that really stops us in our tracks, and especially with art and becoming an artist and your beginning journey as an artist, it's real easy to allow that fear to stop you in your tracks. Either stop from trying altogether, or once you get started and you kind of don't like what you're seeing, to stop doing what you're doing. So in that video I talk about overcoming fear. So when I say have fun in tip number 6, remind yourself, this is fun. This is exciting. You're embarking on new territory you've probably never been in before, and that's amazing. So keep doing it. No matter what, no matter how hard it gets, keep doing it. Keep trying, keep growing. Like I said, we'll recap the tips here. Be yourself, learn from others, keep it simple. Practice, practice, practice. And then practice some more. And start now and have fun. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you have found it helpful to you on your journey as an artist. If you did like the video, please hit the like button. You know how all that stuff works. And subscribe to my channel as I continue to try to grow my channel. All of that stuff helps. If you would like to see more videos like this, or something specific to art and growing as an artist, your journey as an artist, techniques in oil painting, materials I use, anything like that, please comment down below and I will make sure and answer those questions for you. So until we meet again, thanks so much and have a good day.